Welcome, Wargamers, to an awesome battle report here at Warmachine Weekend. As you can see, we have the amazing, awesome tables. This is pretty fantastic, but because my power cord will only reach from this outlet, we are playing on this table. Still awesome epicness. Say hi, John.
Hi, John.
All right, and so it'll be me versus John. We have become fast friends over this weekend. It's wonderful. We did you win any tournaments?
No, I placed fourth in one of the scrambles.
There you go.
That's okay.
Me too, actually. Me too.
All right.
Lots of fun, lots of learning. Not so much victory. Next year, it will happen. Anyways.
Well, except for this victory that I'm about to have over you, buddy.
So super props to Chris from Explosivo for making this wonderful, wonderful creation. It's fantastic. So Cryx versus Cygnar, and 35 points. And Incursion. So good luck to us both.
Yeah.
And so for the Cygnar player, that's me. We have Siege with a full unit of precursors plus UA. In the back we have Rupert with his golden pipes of excellence. Also a Squire. And we have a great big Stormwall because he's always fun. And we have a min unit of Blazers. I usually bring a max unit, but I was bringing my 50 point down to 35 points to see how it works. For the Cryx player, we have Epic Exfistias, also known as Egaspi, with a unit of Bane Knights, a min unit of Blood Witches, and they have brought the Hag. Just a wonderful little attachment there. We also have Derek Wraith and Saxon Oric for support. And then running up the center of the line, we have some Bile Thralls, which will be exploding their guts all over my guys, and a unit of Bane Thralls, which will just, well, they just put a crink in everything. They have the UA attachment, the unit attachment, and over there we have the Defiler little bone chicken jack, and that is 35 points of Cryx. And so for the scenario, we rolled off and we got Incursion. We are actually demoing the 2014 Incursion. This will be before the official release, a couple months before actually. And so at this point, the side flag did not dominate for 2. It was only dominated for 1. But so that's the scenario. So 1 focus allocated to the Stormwall, so we could run up, and then Rupert walks up and gives them a Pathfinder, so they can run right through the forest and get all the way up. Siege again just runs up, and the rest of the little solos just get into position. Then Stormwall runs up as well. I should have moved the precursor a little further up, so Stormwall could have moved up, or a different angle. But anyways, Cryx turn 1, and it's business as usual. Run first turn. Just getting in position. The Blood Witches, though, they do mini feat. Now mini feating just makes it so, well, they go incorporeal at the end of their activation, and so just running around the forest there. And so going incorporeal is nice because the shots from Stormwall and Siege will not actually hurt them unless I cast Explosivo first, and so like Ground Pounder is severely hampered. As you see, the Bane Knights could just run right through that forest because of Ghostly. But again, everyone just running up the board, getting up as far as you can, because I don't have a lot of ranged firepower on this list, although Siege can deal out a lot by himself. And then Asphyxius walks up and he just camps all his focus. No, actually he is going to spend, that's right, he casts Caustic Mist. And so this is a 3-inch AoE that he can place completely within his control area. And it counts as a cloud effect, so you can't see through it. At least enemy models can't see through it. And if I were to enter it, I take 1 point of corrosion damage. And so any of my precursor knights, basically they can't move anywhere in it at all, and so it prevents a lot of movement, prevents me from charging and different things like that. So very good move there. And then Derek Wraith, he does his little anyways, he moves up, and every undead friendly model in his control area gets to move an inch. And so with little doohickey there, it was nice. Everyone moves an inch. Hey, it's a little extra movement, and the flag on the left side disappears. Cygnar turn 2, we allocate 2 focus to the Stormwall. Rupert gives them tough and runs off to the side behind the forest to relative safety. And then the precursors do shield wall. Now I chose shield wall just because there's a lot of different pals. Like if if the Bile Thralls get up and start exploding, I want to be able to be in a shield wall, and mostly against the Blood Witches when they start charging. Because the Bane Knights, they are Weapon Masters, they're going to slaughter me no matter what. But if anyone could possibly, if there's a bad roll, it's a better a good chance. So they're all not able to move their full distance because some of them were still in the forest. Siege moves up as far as he can, all the way through the forest, only 2.5 inches. This is normal movement's 5. And then he takes a shot, casting Explosivo first, so it's a magic weapon, so it can hit. And so he rolls. He does I did boost, but unfortunately the explosion, the AOE, does not hit any of the other hags. And so with my second attack, I just shoot at one of the Bane Knights because they are not incorporeal, and I can kill them with normal shots. And I do manage to kill the one. The Squire just moves up to make sure he's within the 5 inches to be able to pull focus off and extended control range and all that good stuff. And so the Blazers move up. Unfortunately, one of them is out. I forgot they had stealth. I could have moved so he was in, but again, fatal error. And so I start shooting. I hit both with the Electroleap, but they're armored 15, so I needed 6s to kill. But the second shot does go through, manages to kill the one, no tough. And Electroleap onto the next one, and makes another tough check, but he is tough. So he's knocked down, but as long as the UA is alive, or the commander's alive, they get to stand it for free at the beginning of their activation. So I'm trying to think, he can't escape, so he's just going to move up to engage the Chicken Jack and that Bane Thrall. Stormwall moves up just a little bit, and he is going to start taking some pot shots, put some covering fire templates down, mostly to stop the Bane Thralls, Bile Thralls, from getting to my poor little Precursor Knights. So just kind of just hedging them out. And then because there's nothing else to shoot at, because I can't see Gaspy, that was a little measuring there. I have focus, so I boost a couple shots and kill some more Bane Knights. So that's never a bad thing. The Chicken Jack spends 1, runs off. I do get a free strike with the Blazer, just barely in. And so he does make it around. I take the free strike. I don't think I'm going to disable him. And I needed 8, and I think I rolled a 7. Yes. And so the Chicken Jack gets there, and basically he's up far enough that my Storm will have to deal with him before I can move around. The Bile Thralls move, but again, they can't really move up far enough because of those covering templates. So they're just they're just hunkering down, waiting to the next turn, being careful not to go inside that covering fire template. It prevented 1 charge from the Bane Knights, so that was good. But two get in, and as you can see with the Weapon Master charge, doesn't matter that I have shield wall and I'm armor 18, they obliterate me. And the only chance, I did have a tough roll, but I did fail. The only chance is that they don't hit me, which happens in the second attack. So the Blood Witches now start charging, and they should all be able to get in pretty good. Unfortunately, their mini feat is kind of useless against Siege in this list, but it might have kept 1 or 2 of them alive, depending on what I would have done, like I mentioned before. So they start attacking. A lot of them are missing, unfortunately, not able to hit me. But that one does hit, and I think this was a Death Strike. And so if he does kill me, which he does, then I do fail my tough roll. Then the POW of my guy is, yes, Death Strike. So the POW of the strength of my character is POW 6 against the other guys. But they're all in base to base in a little triangle there, so he needed really high to be able to hit him. Doesn't make an attack with the other one. Does kill a Standard Bearer. I let the Standard Bearer die just because he doesn't have a weapon. And I don't think I'm going to need to re-roll on my leadership or my check. So Gaspy moves up and casts another couple Caustic Mists. These things are really annoying, but now more so because I'm engaged with Bane Knights. So if I stay in the mist, I'll take 1 point of corrosion damage. But if I leave, then I'll take a free strike and I'll die. So it seems like those guys are dead no matter what. We'll see what I can do to deal with it. Tartarus curses the Blazer, sorry, and then just moves up out of the way. And then the Bane Knights get the Bane Thralls get a charge run order. And so they start running in, charging, surrounding my guys. And now because of the curse, they get extra movement, which they didn't really need, but they also get +2 attack. and so they go from a measly mat 6 to mat 8, and so they're only needing so I think they're mat 7 actually. They only need, I think, 6s to hit me, no, I think they still need 7s, but anyway, it's a lot better than 9s. He would have hit me regardless on that attack, so this is a guy standing behind the pillar. He just obliterates him because of his dice damage with the -2 armor because of their silliness. And so the first one misses, the second one hits on the other guy. Yeah, those guys were definitely obliterated. So I do have to take a command check, which I do in a second. But the Bile Thralls are kind of stuck, and unfortunately he forgets that Saxon Orc, the whole point of him being in the list is to give people Pathfinder, but he forgets. That's okay. It still holds them in reserve, which will be good for later, because I don't have much to shoot or kill them, and they are pretty far in the forest. So I do make that command check finally on the Blazers, and they're fine. So Cygnar turn 3. Siege grabs one from the Squire. Rupert goes and gives them Tough again, just because I need them to stay alive as long as possible while Siege does his dirty work. So Reinhold reloads, and then Siege walks up, and he starts off with a Ground Pounder. Now Ground Pounder ignores the target in melee bonus, so that's fantastic. But he does not ignore elevation, we believe. So he ignores everything else. But anyways, I need 6s to hit, and I keep on hitting those 6s. And with POW 12, I only need like a 5 to kill. I only rolled a 4 on the last one though. But I was able to kill those engaging, so that was fantastic. And then what he's doing is he casts Explosivo on himself for a second shot, and he boosts the hit, so he hits that hag, and it's an AoE 3, and so to hit the other 2 with POW 7s. And so I'm also boosting those to try to kill them, but barely do not get to the last one. And then with my last focus, or my last 3 focus, I'm going to cast Rift, just because, hey, why not? No one ever casts Rift. And so it does scatter, does miss, but it manages to hit. And now it's all rough terrain now, in that big 4-inch silver circle there. But the blast damage does manage to kill one of them. So that's fantastic. And they do make their command check. Now that these guys are not being engaged, they can actually move out. And I'm sorry for this. I give the camera to John in half a second. So, because it's hard to move guys precisely. And thankfully, John's a very good cameraman. So anyways, I do another shield wall order, because shield wall, again, trying to keep my guys alive as much as possible. Move up and do some awesome shenanigans stuff. But again, those silly caustic mists, those clouds, preventing me from moving up as far as I want to, really forcing me to stay back. So I shouldn't complain, because I have the covering fire template, so I'm pushing him out, and he's pushing me out, and so we're kind of just angling around with some guys skirmishing in the middle. I am able to kill everything that the precursors come in contact with, which is great. That was part of the plan. And I want to go up and I want to wail on that chicken jack, but I realized if those Bile Thralls get to move up and explode all over my poor precursors, it's just over. So I play some covering fire templates so they can't get in and around. And then I start shooting at the one Bile Thrall because there's nothing else to shoot at. But I realize that he's too far in the forest, so I can't even see him. And so, well, let's move on. Move up with the Blazer, I shoot at the banner. I do manage to hit and cause a tough check, but it toughs. And so the toughing continues, because if I did kill the banner, that is what gives tough to the unit. And so I can take that out with one swift blow, or not, you know, it toughs. And I forgot, and I was so disappointed that I forgot to make my light cav move to get out of his front arc, so he could charge me or whatever. So now he remembers finally that he's got Pathfinder, and so he was able to move far enough around that one of them can explode and get guck all over 2 of my precursors. Luckily they're in shield wall. One of them makes their tough check and falls over, the other one does not receive enough damage to. So they're both still alive, but they are corroded, so if they fail getting rid of that corrosion continuous effect, then it's over. The Bane Thralls do charge and run, so the banner just charges in the back, and the rest decide to just run forward, up behind the wall, just getting in the position. And I can respect that. He needs a 9 to hit though, because he didn't curse him this time, and he rolls only an 8. Which is super good for me. because I do have that Blazer threatening from behind now, and Gatsby isn't the strongest cast in the world, and so I should be able to plink some damage. Now, Gatsby feats. Now, his feat is he brings back up to 10 grunts. So no unit leaders, no solos, no nothing, but 10 grunts from units that have died. Puts them within 3 inches of himself, and then they're indestructible, they're undamageable, and they have to charge this turn. And then Gatsby teleports back, and they all count as solos for this turn. And then at the end of the turn, they all disappear. And so thankfully, I killed one Bane Thrall. And so the Bane Thrall has the aura where if he's in melee with something, he gets -2 armor. And so all he needs is the one, and the rest of the Bane Knights get the charge and hit on the Stormwall. And so the Stormwall is gonna have a rough turn this time. I don't know if he's gonna live. He might, just because it's gonna be hard to fit everyone around with the flag there as well. But we'll see. But he's been doing some decent damage. At this rate, he is going to kill me. And then, yeah, with his third attack, again, there's only 3 attacks, and his right side is almost out. And then he charges with one glass, and he goes through the covering fire template, but it doesn't matter again because they can't get hurt. He hits with anything but double ones. And there's the roll. 2 6s, 2 5s. I think it was a total of 16 damage. It hurt a lot. That's all I remember. And so yeah, 3 remaining to destroy the right side, and another 13 damage down the middle. And there's still more. There's still more guys. And that's the thing with these guys, you just charge them willy-nilly into anything that you can, because at the end of the turn, they're all gone. And they're all going to die, so you just run them into the craziest places because you're with no remorse, because they're already dead. I mean, they were already dead to begin with, to be honest. But anyways, continuing to hit the Stormwall, and the last hit is just enough to kill him. Actually, he was over by about 3 or 4 damage. But there's still more guys. And so, let's charge some more. And because when you come back they are ghostly, they ignore the rough terrain from the rift I put out. And so yeah, they ignore all terrain. They can move any which way they want as long as they're not moving through other models. And luckily the Blood Witches do have a bit harder time hitting my guys. I am defense 13 compared to defense 10 of the Stormwall. But he does manage to hit the knockdown one because, well, it's not a hit. At least he wasn't shield wall. And then he manages to kill the other precursor as well. Does not make his tough roll. And so no corrosion rolls needed, at least. And so that is the end of those Pobrecito precursors. Now we have the normal Blood Witches activating. The Hag is in the back, and now we forgot about this. I'm not sure if he actually was, but within the Hag's command, you actually can't make tough checks. You lose stuff. So the Hag is actually just barely out. Wasn't able. He might have been able to move. If I was a more generous opponent, I might have just let him have it. Sometimes you can just move straight, because I think that was the flag, so you can just move right through the flag. But anyways, that is the way it happened. The Filer gets a super sweet spray, but unfortunately his rat isn't very good, and my defense is decent, and so he misses all 4. And I thought he got a 5th hit, but he didn't. So it was almost a really awesome thing. But thank goodness the feat is over. I mean, I lost Stormwall, which was a big loss. But Stormwall's over with. That's okay. Time to move on with my life. So I do give tough to the precursors again, and then run around with Rupert. Just keep him alive, because why not? And then I do a charge run, and so those guys point blank charge, which basically means they don't get the charge bonus, but at least they get to attack. And then the other guys just run up and he goes, you know, screw this. I need to move up as fast as possible, start threatening Gatsby, because there's not a lot to support him on that side now that the Blood Witches are all gone, or at least they're about to be. I had faith in my precursors to mop up the back end. Reinhold moves up and reloads Siege, and I move it with Siege, and I measure his control area, and it's exactly 14 inches away. And so it's time to feat. So I do boost. I need a 9 though. I do manage to hit, which is fantastic. And so let's boost. This is dice plus 4. I only rolled a 6. And so if I had rolled half decent, I would have killed him. But that's okay. I do have a second shot, needing 9s to hit, but I miss. And so I probably would have been able to kill him with a second shot. But c'est la vie, I missed. Plan B. So my blazer in the back, he does manage to hit. He makes a tough roll, but he is knocked down, and so I light cab past him the 5 inches. And so if he really wants to, he can turn around and attack me next turn, but that means the rest of his guys can't really do anything because he wants to move him up. So he runs up around the flag, but again, unfortunately, unless, oh yeah, so he would have stood up. Unfortunately, unless all of them are within 4 inches of the flag, he doesn't able to get any points from it. And again, Tartarus is just hanging back as well. Tartarus could have got the flag, but I think he was a little too afraid of me sniping Tartarus off. Didn't want Tartarus to die. Which is understandable. The curse is very good, and he was setting up for next turn. So I could follow that. The chicken moves up, does his little spray, I do believe, but he misses. So Gaspy's getting a little ballsy here. He jumps up on top of the hill, he charges one of them, and he smokes one of the precursors. He just dies. But he makes a tough roll, and so, oh, privateer press decision. Apparently he can see siege. I didn't think he could, but you know, you don't want to mess with those guys. So he does cast Parasite on the siege. So he gets -3 armor, and Gaspy gets +1 armor. But using that much focus, he's still down 2 armor. So, and he boosted, so down 3 armor. So who knows if that was the right decision, but it doesn't really matter too much when most of the things that are going to threaten Gaspy are all about to die. So Gaspy's original plan was actually to excarnate, and so that's a spell that if you kill a warrior model with it, you get to place a grunt in a friendly unit, as long as it's in basically he was able to put a bile thrall a lot closer to me and explode everything. But my guys are immune to spells, so he couldn't do it. And so that's what I think he intended to do. But he does move up with that bile thrall, it explodes, and it hits just about everything. And unless I tough, I'm just getting massacred here because I am only armor 14 and it's a POW 12. So unless he rolls double ones, oh, I rolled 2 dice instead. So one guy makes a tough roll. That's pretty good. Not that great, but I got overexcited with them. I was too tired of the precursors just walking up the board slow and the storm wall was supposed to be there to prevent this from happening, but he died. And so that's what happens when you forget what is on the board. You get overconfident. So my precursors just get wiped off the board, and 1 point of damage to siege because the corrosion did not go out. But I think I got him here because this time I'm able to sit still and aim, and so that increases my my rats by 2. And so instead of needing, I need a 7 instead of a 9, so that I did hit it barely. And boosting damage, I am able to just take out Gaspy, and so he falls over. I forced John to knock over his model. But it was a great game. John's a great opponent. I think he's relatively new to the game, or at least he was at this point. But we both had lots to learn. And so comment below your thoughts on the game. Cygnarian victory, of course, on this wonderful, wonderful board. Again, props to Chris from Explosivo for making these wonderful tables. It was a joy. So thanks for watching, and you can check out our post game on the Mini Wargame Vault. So happy wargaming. Take care.